Hey guys, so today I wanted to make a video to show you how to change the rear camera in the HTC Desire 610. So to remove the back cover, what I found is a good place to start is right here in the SIM card slot, the memory card slot. You just put your thumbnail into that slot there and open that up. And then if you just start right here with your thumbnail, if you can, and just start separating it right there a little bit. If you can't start with your thumbnail, start with something else that's a little strong, just be careful when you start in there. And then I use a little pry tool like this. It works really well, and you can just kind of see how that's separating there. You can see the light there, and just start with that, keep going around and keep pressure with your finger just behind it, and just go all the way around. You might have to do a little wiggling. Excuse me for jerking here, but I'm just trying to show you. You just want to keep wiggling all the way around, and then that cover comes right off. Next, what you will need is a Phillips screwdriver that's size 000, and there's 2 Phillips screws right here that you will need to remove. Then you will need a Torx T5 screwdriver, that's the size, and you will need to remove the 4 corner screws. They're separate because they're silver, and then you will need to remove 3 black screws right here, actually 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 right here, these black ones. Now all these different kinds of screws are the same size, like the black ones are all the same size, and then the silver corner ones are the same size, and then the 2 Phillips ones the same size. So you can just keep them separated by the kinds they are, and that way you'll know where they go. And so just remember, you'll need a 000 Phillips screwdriver and a Torx T5. I'll include links in the video description where I got the tools to work on this, or the parts to work on this. Anything that I think might be helpful to you, I'll include links there. You can check them out. Next, to remove this back plastic part here, what I like to do is start with a plastic pry tool like this. This also comes in the kits, and you can buy them separately too if you want, but I like to use these. Now you can use about anything to pry under here if you want, but I like to use plastic ones so they don't damage anything. So you just kind of start in this bottom corner, and as you can see, it's coming up. Now there's one spot right up here towards this top here that's a little bit stubborn, so you want to kind of pick up with your finger and just carefully pry it as you do, and then the whole thing comes right off. To remove the logic board, what you will need to do is go ahead and use tweezers or something to get under this connector for the battery. Just pop that up, and then you can go ahead and do this wire right here. Pop it off, and then next there's this little wire for the vibrator that we're going to want to just grab and slide out straight back like that. And then we just need to get under with something like this and just gently pry up. And when you have it up this far, just come in from this side right here, and then there's this little thing, a notch here, and a plastic part here. You have to slide it this way a little bit to get it out from under that, and then once it clears that, then you're free to tip it up like this because of the headphone jack here. And then you have to pull it straight back like this to get it out of there. And then there's a connector in here right there that we have to disconnect. So we can probably just do it with our thumbnail, just pry under there, and then this pops right out. And don't worry about this little metal thing here, it just sits right in here where the SIM card slot is. To change the rear camera, what you will need to do is go back here and pull up this adhesive right here. You can leave that part on the camera unless your new camera doesn't have it and you want to swap it over. You can swap it over, and then you want to go ahead and pick up on this little white tab right here and just make so it turns up like this, like straight up and down, and then you should be able to grab your camera. And then this has a little adhesive under this brown flex as well, so you want to loosen it up, and then you can just pull it straight out like this. So to reinstall, all you need to do is grab this and slide it straight in there. And what I would recommend is just take your fingers or something, push down on that so it can't pop out of there, and then you can push down on the flex cable and then push down on that and make sure everything is stuck back down just fine. To reinstall the logic board, what you'll need to do is first grab your logic board, and if I tip this up here, you can see this thing's kind of in the way, but right down in here there's a connector. You'll need to go ahead and make sure to connect that. Now I already connected it, but I wanted to show you, it's a little bit tricky, but if you tip the board all the way like straight up and down like this, you can get in here and squeeze this together and make sure that's connected properly. Then next you want to connect this connector right here in here. I already connected it as well because I didn't want to take too long in the video, but you just have to kind of fish around and make sure that that's in the right place, and then make sure that everything's good to go. Make sure that the front camera is still lined up in the right spot here. Then also, if this metal part falls out, you just set it right in here in this spot, just in this little square spot where the SIM card slides in. It just sets as a little indentation there for it. And then you'll have to start by tipping this headphone jack in first, so keep it up like that. Be sure when you're tipping this to get this logic board in that you don't tip it too far, that this connector down in under here disconnects again. And then you'll want to watch the wire here for the vibrator. Likes to get in there. The wire for the battery and this antenna wire, they all like to get in there and get in the way. Now this, we have to get under this part here first. I don't need the tweezers, but I'm just using it to point. So you want to go under that part first and then slide it this way a little bit, and then you can go ahead and set it down. So make sure that it's set it down nicely. Then watch like the wire like that, they like to go in. So then to reconnect you can go ahead and reconnect the battery. Just push that right down in like it goes, and then go ahead and connect the wire here for the antenna wire. Sometimes it's a little easier to have something like the tweezers to hang on to them, and then to get them started square. And then you'll have to turn this the right way, and so what you'll want to do is just push that in right straight in there, and you're all connected. Before you put the back cover back on, make sure that this camera is seated down properly, nice and squarely, because it can wiggle around and it has to be in there nice and straight. To put this back port back on, what you will need to do is just go ahead and set it down on there, and then start like at the top or somewheres and just start pressing in all the way around, and then go ahead and put all your screws back in. Now remember, the 2 Phillips screws go here, and all the corners they get the silver Torx screws, and then these 4 here were the black Torx ones. Now watch is if your SIM card tray here, your SIM card, this part, rubber part here, if it ends up coming out, what you'll need to do is just go ahead and put it back in before you put the back cover back on. So to put the back cover back on, what you need to do is just go ahead and grab it, and I would say start in one end, like maybe the top, and just start going, working your way around, snapping it in. You can hear it snapping in good. Just make sure it's good all the way around. We're good to go. Thanks for watching.